Yeah. So, a very good afternoon to all the panelists and attendees. This is Mehar Suri, moderator for the today's session. Right. So, I'm pleased to welcome you all to this session on export potential of India's beauty products to Russia, which is being organized by India Business and Trade, the thought leadership platform set up by the Trade Promotion Council of India. In this bilateral webinar, I take immense pleasure in introducing our esteemed panelists from both India and Russia. From Russia, we are having today with us Mr. Anatoly Valetov, the member of board, Moscow Innovation Cluster Fund, Mr. Prasun Prakash, who is the General Director, DRISP Russia, Ksenia, HOD, who is the South Asia Directorate, the RossCongress Foundation, Ms. Vagapova Rimma, the President, Russian Union of Manufacturers and Entrepreneurs, Ms. Viktoriia, Mysak, the founder and owner of INDI House. A special thanks to Mr. Dimity for attending the webinar. My humble namaste to you all. And from India, we are having Mr. Rajesh Vasudevan, who is AVP Business Development, Exports, Godrej Consumer Products Limited. Mr. Zubin Contractor, who is the CEO, Michelle Group. Mr. Saket Mishra, he is the Head Export and International Sales, Tab India. And Mr. Lakshit Gandhi, who is the Head Export, Khadi Essentials. Welcome everyone. And before we delve into the discussion, I would like to invite Mr. On Alia, who is Assistant Director at PPCI, to say a few words. Sir, please.
Thank you everyone for being here. I truly appreciate your presence. I really appreciate that each one of you said yes to me at such a short notice. For those, for your convenience, we also have an interpreter with us who's going to help us during the session in case if we face any challenges in regards to language. And for those who are joining us from Russia, Dobro Utro Vasem, Menia Ali, Ia STPCI, Ya o Hotel by Pobla Godrej. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Trade Promotion Council of India is an apex trade and investment promotion organization notified in the foreign trade policy. TPCI is also recognized and supported by the Department of Commerce, Government of India. We work towards facilitating the growth of the Indian industry with the global investment and trade opportunities. The Council provides strategies for expanding businesses internationally by organizing the specialized business events and simultaneously working with the government by providing the policy suggestions, which are essentially based on collated from the research and the industry stakeholders. Our upcoming event, which is India-Russia Cosmoform Delegation 2023, is a part of it. In the past also, we have taken multiple delegations to Russia. All the previous events has been super successful. I personally would like to thank for the support extended by Mr. Prasun Prakash. I would like to thank on behalf of TPCI, I would like to thank RossCongress for the support provided. I would like to thank Viktoriia for being with us for this upcoming event. I would like to thank Vagapova Rimma for extending your support with us and saying yes to us for our upcoming India-Russia Cosmo and former delegation. Thank you everyone for joining here. And from now, I would hand over to Meher to take this from here. Once again, I thank you on behalf of TPCI to each one of you for all your efforts. We truly, truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was pretty heartwarming. So let us begin with a brief backgrounder on the topic right now. So beauty may be in the eye of the beholder, but there is little debate when it comes to the long-term attractiveness of the beauty industry. Not only has it grown steadily, but has created generations of loyal consumers. India has a long history and a rich heritage of beauty comprising skincare, color cosmetics, hair care, fragrances, and personal care products since Harappan civilization. and its market stands at around 15 billion US dollars, which is steadily growing at 10% and is even expected to double by 2030, with skincare and cosmetics driving this growth. I personally feel very blessed for this. Indian beauty and personal care market is the 8th largest in the world. Fragrances, makeup, and cosmetics, even men's grooming are all expected to grow at a CAGR of 16%. Not only has this, but an awareness of the possible perils in consistently using chemical formulations driven the growth of herbal products, which are expected to grow around 15 to 20%. An important characteristic of the Indian cosmetic industry is the remarkable growth of e-commerce, online stores, which offers its customers with a plethora of beauty and cosmetic products, something that a traditional retail store fails to offer in most cases. Russia, on the other hand, has a growing demand for beauty and personal care products. Russian consumers are shown an increasing interest in high-quality cosmetics and skincare products. No doubt the country is another emerging destination for India's beauty product exports. Russia's beauty and personal care market share amounts to 15 billion US dollars, growing annually by 2.17%. The market's largest segment is the personal care and market volume of 5.02 billion US dollars in 2023. In financial year 22-23, India expected a total of 17.67 million US dollar exports, which grew significantly from 9.34 in 18-19, registering a 17% CAGR. Indian beauty products hold huge potential for Russian consumers. Due to the cold climate and exposure to artificial heating, Indian moisturizing and anti-aging products remain in demand. Not only this, but skin rejuvenation and anti-aging products, herbal hair tonics, and henna have also made a profound effect in the market. Demand for Ayurveda beauty care is steadily growing due to their natural ingredients with herbal and Ayurveda preparations. No doubt, with right policies and a comprehensive strategy, Indian beauty products hold great potential to grow presence in Russia. And in the backdrop of the growing presence, the proposed webinar aims to provide a platform for both Indian industry and Russian representatives to discuss the ways to unravel the same. So with the same positivity, let's begin with the discussion. Coming to our panelists, and due to the time availability from Mr. Dimitri, I would like to pose my first question to Ms. Vagapova Rimma. Ma'am, what are your prominent dominant consumer preferences and trends in the Russian beauty industry? Which beauty products, according to you, or the categories are currently gaining popularity in the Russian market? And I would also like to know that what particular marketing and distribution strategies have proven successful for beauty product exporters in the Russian market? Over to you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, it was a question to me, as I understand, yes? Yes?
Yeah. So I have, three things to ask. First is the dominant consumer preferences and the trends in the Russian beauty industry. The second goes for the beauty products or the categories which are currently gaining popularity in the Russian market. Right. And the third one is the particular marketing and distribution strategies which have been successful for the exporters.
Okay, to be honest, I need to ask Rimma to help me with that in Russian, and I will translate in English. Римма?
Да.
Римма, ты?
Да, я так поняла
Один из
вопрос.
вопросов
Да.
был, какие сейчас популярные категории товаров косметологии, да, присутствуют в России, какие категории? Было бы потенциально интересно продвигать, скажем, индийским производителям. А второй вопрос был, третий, точнее, вопрос был насчет маркетинга. Miss Meher Suri, could you please explain, repeat once again the first question and the third, because you speak so fast and the line is not so clear, you know?
No problem. No problem. Vladimir, I'm going to do that for you. So her question is that what are the trends in the Russian beauty industry? That's the first question. You need to help us with the trends, the upcoming trends in the Russian beauty industry. And the second is, what kind of products are gaining popularity in the Russian market? Okay. So what kind of products or the categories are there which are gaining popularity in the Russian market? Thank you.
Okay. Римма, смотри, первый вопрос, какие сейчас тренды в бьюти-индустрии, да, вообще присутствуют, скажем, на российском рынке?
Ну, отвечу на вопрос, то, что рынок России в плане парфюмерно-косметического потребления, он довольно объемный, и любой продукт в целом имеет, если он действительно результативный, показывает свою результативность, то он имеет спрос, это безусловно. Наша сильная сторона, непосредственно моя, это профессиональная продукция, это то, что может быть использовано в салонах красоты, это любые уходы, которые могут использовать мастера в своих услугах. Соответственно, это та же самая у нас эстетическая косметология по уходу за кожей, также все, что касается волос, различные уходы. Красители тоже, возможно, будет рассматривать, но то, что касается, да, из Индии, конечно, хна, вот насколько я понимаю, очень имеет хорошее качество. Здесь можно будет сотрудничать с нашей индустрией брови, то, что имеет сейчас большую популярность, это использование пигментов для окрашивания бровей.
Mm-hmm. So, first of all, Rimma says that it's a good question about the first question about the trends. Yes, most of all, it's popular and important. The trend that she can follow is beauty for professional beauty industry, for salons. For salons, like, first of all, it's interesting, just a moment. For the cosmetics for the browns, she said, henna, yes. She said that henna is an interesting product for Russian market, could be. And so professional cosmetics, yes, for professional cosmetics for salons, it's first of all. Римма, какие еще категории ты могла бы обозначить?
Те продукты, на которых можно было бы обучать наших, да, вот эти вот продукты, вот эти категории. Дальше
Например?
какой интерес? Интерес, если мы говорим не конкретно по конечному продукту, конечно, большой интерес в поставках сырья для производства парфюмерно-косметической продукции. Если таковые компании имеются, мы сейчас создаем, формируем самостоятельно базу поставщиков, надежных поставщиков именно сырья для производства парфюмерно-косметической продукции. Это любые масла, любые отдушки, добавки. В этой части мы можем посотрудничать.
Okay. Another direction which can be interested for the Russian beauty industry is raw materials for perfumes. It's like oils, additives, etc. That is can be also has interest in demand, as Rimma says.
В целом готовы рассмотреть любое сырье, которое производится в Индии, непосредственно вот касаемо блока, сферы парфюмерно-косметической продукции. Это может и также быть и гиалуроновая кислота и так далее. То есть
Я, конечно, всю терминологию косметическую, к сожалению, не знаю, не могу переводить, но насколько я понимаю, я скажу. Okay, she says that she can consider any raw material that you can offer, because she has demand, she has final end users, customers. If this product, if she can learn the professionals in Russian salons, for example, how to use these raw materials in salons, she can teach them. It's not an issue. You can just offer what you have, and we will just simulate on the Russian market how it will work. Nothing special. We can do that. I mean, if I said like we need like additives or oils, it doesn't mean that we do not need any other raw materials. You know, you can offer more. I am sure that you have a lot of different categories of raw materials because it's India. So it's up to you. Just offer. Rimma will check, and I will help you here to translate.
If colleagues, can I add something? Actually, according to the questions of Mary Suri, I have some information to add. actually, according to first and the second question, if you don't mind, I can add some information. I think it will be interesting for you. So I would like to inline three trends that are in Russian market if we're talking about cosmetics. So the first trend is natural components. Actually, as our colleagues told you, that all components will be in great demand from India. But you know, the demand for natural cosmetics is growing year by year, and it is important to tell people about these natural components in the cosmetics in all media resources, because you know, in 2022 the market volume of pure cosmetics was $42 billion, and according to the experts, by 2027 it will be increased to $54 billion. So people, we can say that people are more trusted to the brands that are aware of natural ingredients, zero waste, and to the brands that think about ecological problem. The second trend is personalization. When we think about real needs of our clients. So the buyer is pleased when the store applies to him and takes into account his individual needs. You know, there is a serious factors for making a purchase decision. When people understand that this concrete product will think about his problems. And 80% of people buy cosmetics from brands that can provide them individual approach. They trust to brands that they can give them personal advice. So this is important when people come to the shop and the seller can explain him what in accordance what problem he has. I want to try to speak briefly because I know that we are pressed for time, and I'm trying to inline the main points. So, and the third trend is cosmetics for men. Actually, on the contrary to the stereotypes, men also use cosmetics. And actually, this is a global trend that's spreading not just in Russia, but all over the world. And the Russian market of men's cosmetics is growing very, very quickly. But actually, through the pandemic times, many people, and especially men, they turned to the cosmetics and to the hygiene products. And if we're talking about marketing, we have several points that we should take into account. Russian people are not familiar with the products from India, because actually they are more familiar to products from America, from Korea, from Japan, even from China, and of course from Europe. They don't know Indian brands and they're not sure about the quality. So this information is to you. So you need to study marketing researches and to lay quite a big amount of the investments on promotion of the goods. Actually, it is necessary to introduce Russian people with Indian products and to make them trust to Indian products. So I think this is the main point, because actually I understood, because 2 months ago we have launched a company, INDI House, and now we are working with Indian manufacturers and Russian buyers. And we are facing a huge problem in this field because Russian buyers, they really don't know Indian brands. They are not familiar for them, and they are getting used to work with Chinese brands, but Indian brands are still closed in Russia. So I think this is the main point: marketing and promotion. That's all.
Yeah, it has been very informative, and I'm definitely, pretty sure that it is going to help our industry, the Indian industry, in way more ways. So, yeah, moving ahead for the second question, that is to Mr. Rajesh Vasudevan. Sir, we would like to know about the Indian beauty industry, just like we got to know about the Russian industry, and how it has evolved over the years and how it has expanded its international presence. Moreover, what product segments look most interesting in terms of the growth opportunities? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And thanks to the panelists and the fellow participants and who are there in the call. So Indian industry has evolved a lot after Indians' freedom. And from the time when we got freedom, we have moved a lot. So now it is one of the biggest and largest self-reliant country in the world. When I say self-reliant, we make and we consume everything. So almost 80% of the goods what we produce, we are in a position to consume in this country only. Coming to this industry is one of the fast-growing industry for us and very stable industry in terms of market capitalization, in terms of invention, in terms of leadership, everything. The country biggest growth drivers currently, if you see, the traditional trade, which brings the biggest growth for the whole country, followed by e-com and the online media. The categories, if you see, where we have strength, rather we as an exporter, we gain lot is the personal care categories. When I say personal care categories, we can further develop or we can further subdivide into hair colors, shampoos, hand wash, deodorants, all the steps. Apart from that, it is also used in refresheners, when I say car, home, bathroom, etc., etc. So this is a trend. So you see, as a country, we are more getting into personalized, more getting into solution providers in all the segments. And the growth, in terms of growth, if you see, the personal care segment, soaps is one of the biggest growing categories in India. Deodorants, again, is a very big category to grow in India. And there is a new trend towards natural hair colors, which is gaining more. And I was hearing from my partners the other side, henna is having a very good impact in Russia. We are one of the largest exporters of henna to the world as a company. And there are a lot. So coming to the other thing, there is a skew towards, there used to be a general trend where products generally designed for women are used by men. But the trend in the last 5-10 years has changed. So there are men-driven products, men-related products. The grooming category is evolving in India. And there's a huge scope for grooming business which is happening. So we also understand some of these markets like Russia, Europe, and GGME parts, Dubai parts, UAE parts. So there are a lot of business happening in this segment. So there is a trend towards that also, and be there, and it's going to be very stable in the next few years, and do a double-digit growth as we see now, and it will continue to grow in the same pace. The other very interesting category is the freshness. So people are getting into more personalization as we move. People look for a lot of different smells. When I talk about the fragrances, when I talk about the room freshness, etc., etc. So there is a very big evolvement happened in this segment. So people are looking for proper solutions. People are looking for long-term solutions in this aspect. Yeah. So these are things which are key to the country and which we can do as a country to other nations across the globe. We have big, this one, the last and very interesting point I would like to bring here is the Ayurvedic segment, herbal and Ayurvedic segment. So India is one of the largest, rather the second largest exporter of herbal and Ayurvedic products to the world. Okay? And India have everything, right? Some of my panelists told about the herbal raw material requirements, etc., essential requirements, etc. So we are in a position to export any raw material, any requirement of this into the world. And the finesse is we can do the finished goods also. So we can give something in a different brand, something in a different category, all the herbal and essential needs. Yeah. Thank you. Any questions I can answer?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. For the questions, we will definitely be giving a separate time and we'll be holding a detailed discussion for that. So moving ahead, I would like to ask Mr. Prasun Prakash about the key areas of untapped potential that India and Russia can realize in your view. So what is the potential and which are the sectors according to you, if you have a separate view from what Mr. Vasudevan has just highlighted? Please, sir.
Yeah. Hi to everyone. It's really pleasant to be in the company of specialists in the sphere, intelligent people. It's always I'm really glad to take part in such meetings. Meher, if you allow me, can I give a brief introduction about myself first, so that people have a better understanding of what exactly we are up to and what we're doing and why I'm here in the first place? I'll be honest, I'm not from cosmetics. I don't have any connection to the cosmetics industry. My business it's a huge business in medical devices. We are the 5th or 6th, don't know exactly, biggest distributor of medical devices in Russia. Our company is called Spine Medics. And apart from that, I'm into a lot of social work, cultural work, and I had the Center for the Development of Russia-India Strategic Partnership. So now I see obviously a lot of scope in healthcare, and actually when my good friend Ali in TPCI, Ali, it's actually, it goes both ways. It's not only I who helped you, but actually Ali has helped me a lot, and TPCI has helped me a lot for getting the necessary information on India, and I'm really thankful for that. The situation overall is such that, opportunities are immense. In healthcare, I see them every day. For example, right now, our company is localizing 2 big manufacturers of medical devices in Russia. We are in the process of localization. Apart from that, we will open this year or next year probably a representative office of a pharmaceutical company in India. And when I speak to people in the healthcare, and cosmetics is sort of related to healthcare. If you take a deep dive, you understand that cosmetics, the people up there in Russia, they're almost the same, who are controlling the channels of business in cosmetics, be it cosmetics or be it healthcare in general. So now I would just like to stress on certain points, theses that I hope the Indian side will note down. Number one, there is a vacuum in the market because of the overall situation, not only in cosmetics, but in many things. Because I'm a student of geopolitics, so I would like to mention here that the vacuum will get filled by someone. Russia is a good place, a very good place to do business. I myself have been living here for 30 plus years, and the business side of things has been going on for 10 plus years, and we are doing quite well. And it's also a platform to project your strength to the CIS, to the countries nearby. And this is something you shouldn't forget, because if India doesn't rush in to fill the vacuum, I'm speaking as an Indian right now, there will be other countries to fill the vacuum. For example, there are many Emirati cosmetic companies that I know from my friends who are selling cosmetics that are trying to get a footprint in Russia. There are many Chinese companies, and the Chinese economic muscle is very strong. And India has as one of its geopolitical aims to have a constructive, competition. India must swing to me, and Russia that holds a lot of respect for India, and the same goes for India. I think when I speak to Indian business people, they have a lot of respect for Russia. And one more important thesis that I have to outline here is that the 70% of the cosmetics market was basically more or less held by the foreign brands. When we say foreign brands, we speak of countries that are not in friendly terms with the Russian Federation at the moment. And also, I have information that's from people, once again, in the business, cosmetics business, that 20% of the overall market share must be devoted in the future to the Russian manufacturers. Because then comes one more important point, that components, that Viktoriia, I think, mentioning components, raw materials, basically. Because I basically have a plan. I would usually maybe take money for this consultancy, but it doesn't matter. We are in a friendly environment here. I believe there should be a workable business. It isn't only about one supplier to Russia connecting with one buyer from Russia, but there should be a structured scheme. I will explain how. How I see this happening is that there must be a lobby of Indian cosmetics in raw material sector. For example, pigments for lipsticks. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there are special pigments for the lipsticks that are used in the manufacturing of lipsticks. And second thing, and active components, chemicals that are used. India is very strong in chemicals. India is one of the leading countries in the world in that sector. So instead of only thinking about the final product that you can sell to Russia, thinking in terms of providing the raw material is also very beneficial, I believe. It's my subjective opinion, obviously. And we, as the Center for Development of Russia-India Strategic Partnership, have seen a lot of Indian businesses come to Russia. We have consulted them in terms of analytics, because once you strike a deal, and it's a one-time deal, that's one thing, right? If you want to do a long-term business, there should be an information backing, so to speak, informative backing. And that is done through think tanks like us in Moscow. We have an office in Delhi also, by the way, and opening third one this year in Dubai, because Dubai is becoming a huge medium to work with between Russia and India in terms of crude oil. You must be seeing that. So in terms of online shopping, I think once again, it was before Viktoriia, Russian lady spoke, I think Rimma was said. I agree with her also that selling online is very important, because 46%, consider this number, 46% of sales of cosmetics right now, especially after COVID, has been going on online. If you just open a shop somewhere in Moscow, or maybe even your work, the retail group like Group, Magnet, Rift, there's this Yablaka, we have connects the golden apple in English. So if you're just presented there like one company, I don't know. I mean, as much as I know about business in Russia, I know quite well as a businessman, it's not really going to fetch the result you need. So that is why I'm speaking of a lobby in a sense. We have good connections in the government and municipal corporations of Russia. Joint committees not only in Moscow, but in cities like Vladivostok, St. Petersburg, Tyumen, Irkutsk. Healthcare network is quite wide. And we can use that network to leverage certain maybe benefits for the Indian exporters, but we need to come up as a team. And then make a trading term called Торговый дом, or a trading house is basically a company that has a good leverage, that has a good market share, and that can only be done with partners who are strong. We can help you find the right partners. And then you can leverage this to sell the products to all over the country, not only Russia, but also CIS. This is the model we implemented in our business, and it was successful. Once again, I'm not a cosmetics expert. I don't sell cosmetics. I want to be honest here, but there are mechanisms in business that we must understand. And Russia has its own positive moments that can be used. Russia is a different country. Indians must understand that it's not Canada, US, or UK. I was born here, so I know this mentality, both mentalities very well. Now, I would like to end here by also saying that this is the right time, because if we are a little bit more late, then we have to have the speed. The speed is important. I've seen with my own eyes how the Chinese come and take projects. And it is happening everywhere in a lot of businesses. So if we want to take this good market that Russia is, considering the friendship, the specially privileged strategic partnership that Russia and India enjoy, I believe this is the right time. There wouldn't be a better time for this. So Meher, I hope I took a bit more time than expected, but I wanted to be here, straightforward. That's my way of doing things. I like numbers, but reality is different than numbers. You understand what I'm saying? So that must be understood, and this opportunity must be grasped. Thank you.
Definitely, sir. This is pretty enlightening, and everybody here has to agree with me that every industry is connected, and the way you have linked the two, it's remarkable. Yeah. Thank you so much for the enlightening figures as well.
Welcome. Yeah. Welcome.
So in continuation to your focus on e-commerce, I would just like to ask Mr. Lakshit Gandhi here. How, according to you, sir, you view the potential of e-commerce in your international growth, and how is the share of this e-commerce is going to be expected to grow in coming years?
So my name is Lakshit. So I represent two brands in India by the name of Khadi Essentials and the Ayurveda Company. So being our products are primarily based on the Ayurvedic formulations and the Ayurvedic preparations. So it has been the tap on into the market, into the current scenario, which is as we rightly said that India has acknowledged to be the second largest herbal formulator after exporter of herbal products after China. So we tend to do the same kind of practice, and definitely the growth structure in the Ayurvedic field has been phenomenal. So when it comes to e-commerce in Russia, definitely what I see the statistics is that over 90 million Russians have active internet users, representing around 62% of the population. That is quite huge. It's basically a figure of 2021, and I expect that it should be going by 70 to 72%. So the kind of volume of people coming online is drastically going in a crazy way. And being our organization is always being a D2C focus, direct to consumer focus, where we have a good access, where we are doing tap on the market in India as well. And we the same kind of scenario as well in Russia as well. As Viktoriia rightly said, you need to have promotion and marketing needs to be in the right place if you want to, enter into the market. So we are aligned with that as well. And considering the volume of people, the people of, so many people, active users online, I expect that working and, introducing our Ayurvedic products in the Russian market will create a big impact on the users. Of course, the reach to the customers, the point of view of the prices has always been a part of discussion, and always that is something, when it comes to the net selling price the end user is taking, that is really challenging some or the other way, which are some of the challenges coming out, comparing that Russia has other channels as well, apart from Amazon, which are doing fantastically good. So we expect to grow in that sector. And being Ayurvedic products, and as Russia has cold climate and exposure to the artificial heat, Ayurvedic products is something which has, which doesn't only, affect the products and heals the skin from within. So the kind of effectiveness Ayurvedic products bring into the market, that definitely will be creating a huge impact into the Russian consumers. And since in that point of view, we take that the effectiveness of Ayurvedic products, natural products, herbal products will create a big difference rather than the currently, the kind of formulation, the chemical ingredients which have been used into the market. And people have been very particular about not using the chemical products. So Ayurveda creates a difference where it gives you slowly and steadily effects, and not only just giving you an instant result, but a long-term effect is more important, and what we aims to deliver it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So moving ahead, sir, I would like to bring Ms. Ksenia here. I would like you to please elaborate on how both the countries have evolved their trade relations over the years. What is the scope of this expansion for Indian businesses in Russian market, and what advice would you give to Indian companies who are looking to penetrate Russia? Over to you, ma'am. Ms. Ksenia. Ma'am, actually, you're not audible. I'm so sorry.
Дмитрий, там, я так понимаю, мне вопрос был. Can you repeat, please?
It was a question for Rimma, right?
No, this was for you, ma'am. Shall I just repeat it?
Yes, Mr. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. So I just want to, I want you to elaborate on how both the countries, both India and Russia, have been evolving their trade relations.
Excuse me, please, a little bit slower and louder, please.
Okay, just a moment. Is it fine now?
Yes, it's better, but still, please slower.
Okay. I would like Ksenia to elaborate on how both the countries have evolved their trade relations over the years, and what is the scope of expansion for Indian businesses in Russian market, And what advice would you give?
Wait. Slow. Question by question,
So I'll
please.
pose one question. Right?
I don't need translation in Russian. I can answer the question. I just didn't get for whom was the question. That was my first question.
Okay.
Thank you very much for asking. Let me represent myself a little bit. I'm from RossCongress Foundation. As you know, we are a social-oriented non-financial development institute and major organizer of nationwide and international conventions and exhibitions. And this year, just in 2 weeks, we're going to have the biggest event in Russia, and like we call it, Second World Economic Forum, St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. It's our flagship event, one of the biggest and most important business events in the world. Over the 25 years, the forum has cemented its status as a leading international event focusing on key issues on the global economic agenda. It's provided a platform for participants to exchange best practices and expertise in the interest of sustainable development. SPIF has been held annually since 1997. Since 2005, it has been held under the auspices of the President of Russian Federation, who has also attended each event. In 2017, Narendra Modi attended SPIF himself with a delegation from Invest India. I would like to invite Indian participants to take part forum on 14th of June. It's going to be the Insurance and Drug Security Forum, where the issue of cosmetics and trade also will be discussed, and India-Russia Business Forum will be held during this day. Back to your question. I'm sorry for such a long introduction. As the previous speaker said, this time the window opportunities which we should definitely use between Russian and Indian companies have to start communicate and very fast, because time is running, and Russia is such an open market right now. And as I can see from the interest from Indian companies coming to Russia and back and forth, our partners always tell us that Russian delegations are coming to India like every week with different companies trying to, sell products and get investments. So the best time is now, and we are welcoming all of you to come to St. Petersburg this summer and to get this contacts with the Russian companies. Anyone you can even desire to meet and have a business meeting, you can find at our events. So the best time is now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, posing my next question, I would like to bring Mr. Zubin here. So, sir, my question was, how do you assess the relevance of the Russian market in your international growth strategy? And what opportunities and challenges do you see while penetrating into the market?
In fact, hi to everyone. It was very interesting to hear all of y'all. And I see there's a lot of relevance, lot of opportunity. This is the right moment. I'd like to take an analogy with the COVID, a lot of habits changed after the had old people becoming very app friendly and ordering online. One very important point I would like to bring out is most of y'all were talking about raw material and ingredients. I see a huge opportunity in 3 words: make in India. Unfortunately, it is habitual that many countries are used to a mindset of having European and American cosmetics. If you see my background over here, all American and French, made in India. It's the perception of the brand that has been built in the mindsets, I can assure you, India can give you the best quality, high-end cosmetics at Indian prices. And this is the opportunity, you'll need to get that pause and try Indian products and see for yourself. Of course, I see Russian women are already very beautiful. Second thing is, y'all kept talking about natural. we strongly believe we need to merge science and natural, for example, we use a very powerful patented, as an example, lotus seed extracts along with science to come out with very powerful anti-aging solutions for the world, we've got lovely flower collection lines. I look at a huge opportunity of making in India, and there is this opportunity of Russia to have some trust in India to help us, because we have been partners for life, the kind of relations India and Russia share has been one of the most stable relations you can imagine in the world. No hypocrisy. It's been very honest for years, and I want to stress on the point. I think there is huge opportunity for us to make in India to fulfill that gap of those high quality products you all are used to. Very easy for us to make. We just need that opportunity of trust. We need that base to start online, or the base to start distribution. Definitely, I want to visit all of y'all in Russia. There's a lot we can do. So I feel there's a lot of relevance, and one of y'all had mentioned it needs to be done now, because this is our chance to show what we have, to try what we have, to test what we have in your markets, and 100% sure, we are going to fill up this vacuum here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. So taking directly from there, Viktoriia, Ms. Viktoriia. Yeah. So I would like to know, like, what was your inspiration behind INDI House, and how do you see the growth and potential of Indian beauty products in the Russian market? Also, what challenges do you face in importing products from India, and what kind of support would you expect from either end?
Thank you for your question. But actually, as the previous speakers told you, that now it's a good time to start because there is a huge gap in all spheres, not only on cosmetics, because the current situation, many brands has gone from Russian markets, and actually it's a good time to bring new brands here in Russia, not only in cosmetics. So we're looking forward to actually to bring these brands here in Russia, because we see that this demand will be only growing for the years. And we have good relations with India, because one of the shareholders of the company, he is Indian, and he has a very good and strong relations with India. That's why we decided to use his relationships in India and to bring it in Russia. And this is the main point, actually. And now, actually, we are not dealing with cosmetics. I think we will start with this raw material, as many speakers mentioned. We decided to start with it's a huge gap in construction materials, for not only for construction and building materials, and with medical equipment, because if we're talking about Moscow, hospitals, they are not suffering from problems with suppliers, but in the regions there is a huge problem with supply. And now we are looking for good manufacturers of medical equipment. And we also have information that this demand will be growing. And I think this is a good time to start. And I agree that planning, and we should do it quickly.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So moving ahead, I would like to pose a question to Mr. Anatoly Valetov. Sir, do we have you here? Okay, I think it's
Mayor, can you
I
speak
think
up a
Anatoly
bit
left.
soft? Yeah.
Okay. 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 No issues. No issues. Going ahead, I think I will invite Mr. Sakshra. Sir, please, we would really like to ask some, some comment from your end on how successfully Indians penetrate the market, the Russian market, and what will be the best for the.
So, all good afternoon to all of you, and really start anything. I would like to introduce myself, and my core career has been starts from the cosmetics only, and basically in cosmetics it was totally based on natural and Ayurvedic cosmetics. Before that, I won Khadi natural and as well as Khadi Gramodyog. That was the part of Government of India. And now I am working with Fab India Group. That is one of the well-known Indian and as well as overseas. We are having our presence in 25 countries with our own offices and as well as with our own stores over there as well. So basically, Fab India is an organization that has great roots and deep relation with the artisans, or you can say the handmade manufacturers with the basic backgrounds manufacturers who used to manufacture for the clothes and for the handmade products and as well as natural cosmetics. So we are having our roots. It has been in India, one of the in 1975, this organization was established over here in India, and it takes the popularity in early of the 2000. And after that, this organization never back to say anything. And currently, our cosmetic brand is in the name of Fab Essential, and we are already supplying it in many countries, and even in context of basically Russia, because the discussion part is Russia over here only. I can share my experience towards Russia. It is actually a very deep market, where we can implant anything in terms of cosmetics. Like my experience is basically for the henna products, for the moisturizers, body butters, and as well as serum based products and natural soaps. These are the key products that we had supplied many towards not only in Russia, even all other parts of CIS like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, earlier Ukraine, and Belarus as well. And actually, it is a great potential market because if we just thinking about the relations, so you will find it's a great bonding. You can say it's a brotherhood between India and Russia that we are seeing from the years and years. Not only in terms of the trade, in terms of defense, in terms of trade, in terms of culture as well. So we are very similar with that, and due to this, the Indian products are really acceptable for that particular market. And I know many persons there in Russia who used to be my earlier distributors, even still my friends also. And currently we are having a great chain of Russian persons and as well as Indian who are doing their business over there. So basically, Russia is in segregated, as per my thinking, as per my observation, in three parts. One is the first one is the big stores like modern trade and all. So that is different. And the second chain is that is Indian over there since a long time, like 40 years and 30 years, and even they are having their chain of 13 stores, 15 stores by person, one person. So by this, if you will just find it out near about only in Moscow, you will find around 200 and plus Indian stores who are operated by the Indians, and they are making mix of the various cosmetic products like India Bazaar. I hope most of you know about that. Mr. Jitu Patel is operating that. Is one of our friends long time. And similarly, once you are now after the COVID, you will find there is a particular app that has been created, and that is the work that it was discussed earlier. It has been created due to the COVID, due to the online presence of those products. So it is actually necessary, and it is as well as an opportunity. It is also the day of demand. So I think, as per my thinking, we should go on that as well. And these all 3 to 4 steps that are exactly in Russian market, and out of them, I believe from the down to are very important, like the online market and the Indian stores, and after that the small modern store. So after doing these all, then we can go for the hypermarket and all. So as per my thinking, this is the basic structure and basic steps. And towards my all Russian friends who are available here, I would like to thank you to be in this Miller Association, and for the guidance of our all Indian brothers and sisters over here. And would like to be associate with you all to make it more and more greater and larger connection to our Indian and Indo-Russia business. Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you so much. And with this, I think, as I've quoted before, that there is indeed a lot of potential for the countries to work for. Thank you so much, everyone, for such an insightful session. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedules and being a part of this discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.